In the headlines, the Ministry of Education unveils a plan to upgrade the physical plant at a number of schools here. The General Nursing Council presents scholarships to 3 nursing students pursuing their bachelor's degree. And outgoing Urban Council Chairman Simeon Albert points to progress in house rate collection as part of his accomplishments over the last 16 years. I am Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. Thank you for staying with us. We begin with this statement by the government of Dominica, which joins the international community in condemning the 5th nuclear tests carried out by North Korea on Friday. Widespread condemnation of the North Korea nuclear tests come on the 68th anniversary of North Korea's founding. The statement says these tests have been done in defiance of United Nations resolutions. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica views the actions by North Korea as unfortunate and a direct violation of the United Nations Security Council's resolution. The statement further reads, "The Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, further calls on the leader of North Korea to conform to international law and advancing of global peace and security." On the education scene now, the second largest school here is among many that will soon undergo a serious transformation as far as the physical plant is concerned. This information was made public at the principals' meeting held on Friday. Minister for Education, Honorable Peter Serja, said that $2.5 million EC were allocated to commence work on the Dominica Grammar School.
We will also see works commence on the designs for the Goodwill Secondary School, another government-owned school, and I would venture to say one that has outlived its productive life. Really and truly, it does not speak well for education at the secondary level in Dominica when you behold what we consider the second largest government-owned secondary on an island. So we will commence works on the designs for a new Goodwill Secondary School. I want to be guarded when I say that because most persons believe that once you commence work that they will see actual physical work commence.
The designs will first be worked on within the next financial year, and the minister says movement towards physical work will be seen.
We will also see works being undertaken at the Thibault Primary School. And I'm sure if the principal of Thibault is here, you will agree with me that it is high time that as a ministry, as government, we address the situation at Thibault. In fact, Thibault has been bypassed twice before. The school that was built in Saint-Sauveur some 7 or 8 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, 6 years, was actually destined to have been built at Thibault. And then again, the new Newtown Primary School was supposed to have been built in Thibault. And I must say that the parliamentary representative, who is the Minister of Finance, has been most generous.
He assured Dominicans that work will begin on the new Thibault School during the course of this academic year. On to health news now. 3 nursing students on their way to obtaining their Bachelor of Science degrees will now save thousands of dollars. Tisha Lawrence, Dana Bellot, and Donica George have received scholarships to complete their final 2 semesters of their BSN degrees at the Dominica State College. The General Nursing Council officially presented the scholarships at a ceremony on Friday.
The Council has been following the progress of students enrolled in the nursing programs at the Faculty of Health Sciences, and is also aware of the financial difficulties experienced by some in their quest to pursue the nursing program. It is with this in mind that the Council, as one of its activities, undertook to provide 1 scholarship to a deserving student for the duration of the 3-year nursing program based on a set criteria. 3 final year students were recommended to the Council by the Faculty of Health Sciences, And based on the interview, the panel indicated that all 3 students had specific needs and recommended that the council award a scholarship to each candidate for the final 2 semesters of their nursing education program.
A condition to continue receiving assistance would be to maintain a grade point average of no less than 2.5 per course.
I was quite surprised because I'm very quiet, I'm not outspoken, but you all saw something in me that is there. So I'd like to also say thank you to the Nursing Council for this great opportunity, and along with my colleagues, we will surely put it to great use.
In other news, outgoing chairman of the Canefield Urban Council, Simeon Albert, says the collection of house taxes at Canefield has improved under his leadership. This is one of the major achievements Albert is taking credit for as he bows out of the council after 16 years at the helm.
Obviously, we improve on the level of efficiency within the council office itself by fully computerizing the office, ensuring that both the clerk and the assistant clerk could input all the data information as it would relate to properties and ownership of properties within the community, so that we can ensure that when a person comes in, information is readily available, that residents would be able to be billed on time, because that was something that was not being done as it would relate to their taxes, so that we can know how much is owed to the council and the percentage of persons that are paying or not paying. And so we did all of this to improve the council.
The funds collected from house rates have put the council in a better position to sustain its operations.
Today the council is now, we were operating with a budget pretty close to $150,000 when I came in. Today we are operating with a budget over $700,000+ annually. Obviously the council has taken on more responsibilities to manage many of the programs that the government have, not just for the Canefield area, but to include Cochrane, of course, Warner and Massac, and some of the other areas where they do not have a village council.
Under Albert's leadership, the council has managed road projects amounting in excess of $4 million funded by central government. Albert considers Canefield has been transformed, referring to road improvements at River Estate and Benawavin, regularizing squatting at the Benawavin community, extensive street lighting, and the construction of a basketball court. However, he acknowledges there are areas which are yet to be addressed.
There are still needs the community have and will continue to have as we move along. The parliamentary representative, I am most definitely sure, will continue to deliver on those needs alongside with the council. Hurricane Tropical Storm Erika did came recently and caused serious damage to some of our major river defense wall. This, of course, the parliamentary representative has taken on board, and for those who are concerned, who are living near the river, I can guarantee them that very soon they will see work taking place in terms of dealing with the concerns that they have as it would relate to the river walls.
In related news, Aline Wilson, a candidate for the Canefield Urban Council elections, says it is encouraging that the outgoing chairman has given his team a stamp of approval. Aline Wilson, Stangel Carter, Jefferson Macpherson, and Alian Abel have partnered going into Monday's elections.
Actually, made all of us actually happy to see that the outgoing chairman is actually willing and have endorsed us. And it means that he, even while he is going out, he noticed that there's a group of young people who can take on the mantle and move forward with that. One thing is that we would like to see, and I would like to see, a lot more employment of the youth of this community. And I know how to have that done. And when I say I am not just talking about myself, I'm talking about our team. We know how to get that done. We have already structured a plan to have at least 40 more young persons employed while we are in office.
The other team includes Michael Timothy, Joyce Dupie, Ingrid Abraham, Maxim Powell, and Michael Copel.
I do not want to run council election for running council election sake. I want to run council election to make a difference so that the people of Canefield can come to council meeting and ask of us questions, and we must see ourselves answerable to them as humble servant of the people of Canefield.
Voting will take place at the Canefield Community Hall. The polling stations will open from 8 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. The Electoral Office has informed that a final count of votes will take place on Tuesday morning at the Community Hall in Canefield. Coming up, Grandparents' Day activities. Welcome back. Dominica's youth and senior citizens will this weekend join forces in attempts to build age-friendly communities. This, as Grandparents' Day will be celebrated island-wide on Sunday. The month of the elderly is observed during September, and the Dominica Council on Aging spearheads numerous activities to bring awareness to the conditions of the elderly in Dominica.
The 11th of September, Sunday, the 11th of September, is Grandparents' Day. And we have written to all religious denominations to observe this particular day in the churches at Mass/services. And we are asking each group in Dominica to observe this particular day at the church Mass service. And we are asking that the religious denomination observe rather this activity as to honor grandparents.
The theme for this year's Month of the Elderly is Seniors and Youth Building Age-Friendly Communities. To this end, Miss Dominica and Miss JC's International 2016, Tasia Flosak, whose platform is Families Influencing Resilient and Empowered Societies FIRES, is encouraging the country's youth to join in the celebration of Grandparents' Day and acknowledge the significant contribution of the extended family.
And I really want to focus on bridging the gap between youth and the elderly. Growing up in an extended family has allowed me to value the role of grandparents in the raising and nurturing of families. So although Grandparents' Day will be celebrated on Sunday, September 11, 2016, my Queen's crew and I would like to recognize it on Saturday, September 10 at the Our Lady of Fatima Church. That's the church I attend in Newtown. We therefore extend an invitation to members of the general public, especially youth, to attend this special Mass as we show appreciation for the people who built the foundation of our beloved country.
Meantime, the Council on Aging is introducing a new activity to its calendar, carded for 13 September, to get the youth more interested in the culture of the elderly.
Bite Guamun is something new, and this fashion show we're going to have on that particular day and other activities to celebrate this with great fun and power. Bite Guamun, you understand that the people have their old-time fashion and style that they can now exhibit to the youth to see how powerful they can display their talents. And therefore, this is one of the reasons why this thing came up on that particular month.
The series of activities during the month will culminate ahead of 1st October, which is celebrated as International Day of Older Persons. And speaking of senior citizens, Channel 5 News has traveled to the heights of St. Joseph to hear an elderly lady's cry for help with her current living conditions. Nilfia Boston says it's over 2 months since she has been terrified to sleep at home, especially during the hurricane season.
Okay, so we have Miss Boston, who seemed to have a situation ongoing since June?
Since June.
Okay, could you tell us what's going on right now?
I wake up in the morning and I couldn't come out. A big stone behind my door. And mud, and trees just planted in front there. And I begin to cry. I go to the village council because it's people that had to open for me.
Boston says she has contacted her parliamentary representative and village council. However, the problem persists. Her biggest fear currently is when it rains.
When rain falling, I cannot go nowhere because I don't want the water to come inside there and downstairs because I do a little sewing. I do quilting, bedspreads and stuff like that. So I have people material and my own material down there. When rain falling, I cannot go nowhere. Water, water, water. When up there coming like a river, coming down, you hearing it coming down loud, loud, loud. Chirp. So you have to stand up there and look, or stand up there and look, because it's a river.
You said that you've had to spend quite a lot of money to have people assist you in moving the dirt and you clearing the land. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, from June it happening to me. I pay 1,200 in June. I pay 2,000 in July. I have all of them marked down the date, and so I pay in August $2,000. How they come in and they taking it, because it's a lot of mud, and the mud is very sticky. It cannot, and they say it's man labor.
She says the last time she received assistance with flooding in her home was on Monday, when water came in through her kitchen window.
And now we're actually in the hurricane season. How do you feel about being in the hurricane season and having this problem on your property?
It's crying because I never know I could come down there all the while. And when somebody come and say, "Oh, Nilfia, my heart goes out for you," right? Go to mapping, and they will come. And they will assist you by even putting it, make people know your situation and see your situation. And I find myself this morning, I come there.
Okay, and one last thing. What would you like to say to the public, the PAL rep, to the youth council, to the people that can assist you?
I'm just crying for help and for the water that coming out there. The PIREC and the village council must see to it that a gutter or a drain, I don't know how they call it, the one that carries the water, make one.
Forest schools are now able to identify and respond to incidents by outlining the responsibilities and duties of their school and its employees. Principals of the Collyho, Dubla, Massac and St. John's primary schools all received their school emergency operations plans on Friday morning. UNDP consultant Clement Richards said it was vital that the plans be introduced to every school on the island to avoid comments such as this.
Teachers wanted answers to questions as, what should I do if a tsunami is approaching? And in many cases, others reiterated sentiments like, quote, all you can say what all you want, but if something happening, I'm not staying in the school. I'm going to get my child. However, while this may sound amusing, this is a very real concern, which among others were addressed during this consultancy. And in regard to this point of teachers' responsibility versus their responsibility to their homes, I wish to quote a small portion of the template, of the CEOP template here, which says, quote, all staff members of the schools are expected to all staff members of schools are expected to develop personal and family emergency plans.
Richards commends the students and staff for their tremendous support of the program.
And for this, I want to publicly commend the outstanding support and cooperation received from Mrs. Joseph from the Dubla Primary School, Mrs. George from the Collier Primary School, Mrs. Daly, formerly from the Massac Canefield Primary School, and Mrs. Peters from St. John's Primary. Can you all give them a round of applause, please?
Dominicans are being challenged to play their role in unlocking their full West Indian potential. The remarks came from officer in charge of the UE Open Campus, Kimon Joseph. Joseph was speaking at the graduation ceremony of the summer semester face-to-face courses of the UE Open Campus. She revealed that the Open Campus Dominica branch will be expanding the number of courses offered to UE students.
Some of the new programs coming on stream in the Open Campus were cultivated and produced right here in Dominica. The Credit Union Essentials and the Sustainable Development and Climate Change courses were designed by Mr. Barry Kazimi with input from stakeholders and participants. We currently have 2 more courses under review of the Academic Quality Assurance Committee That is the organization at UWI responsible for all programs. So all our programs have to go through that process. So we have written 2 more, well not we, Barry has written 2 more, and they are currently under review from that committee.
The officer in charge says the Dominica branch is seeking to ensure that it produces programs which can be used across the region in order to help the West Indian people further develop themselves.
We are proud of our agility and forward thinking in producing programs here in Dominica that will be used by colleagues across the 44 sites of the Open Campus. We want to continue to serve you. We want to deliver the programs that you want to see at the local sites. The Open Campus has a passion for community development through access to quality education and training and professionalism. And indeed, our very reason for being is to provide such opportunities in order to unlock West Indian potential for economic, cultural, and personal growth.
The courses held during the summer semester were Developing Leadership Presence, Human Resource Management, Sales and Marketing Management, Management of Minor Injuries and Emergencies, Taxation with Bookkeeping and Accounting, and Public Speaking and Presentation Skills. That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
First up, the Minister for Sports believes Dominica Olympic Committee should operate with a level of autonomy with minimal government interference. Following the Dominican athletes' performance at the Rio Olympic Games, many took to social media hinting that government should play a more significant part in the DOC's operations since the athletes could have a positive or negative impact on the country's reputation.
It's always better when you have people take ownership and responsibility for the area in which they have the expertise and in the areas where they serve. Somehow, when they do that, it will allow them to appreciate the level of work that they have to do and take the responsibility that goes with it. And government is already overwhelmed with so much for us to do. So if we can partner with organizations, it's better than having to just absorb everything.
She says athletes and sports organizations should give proper representation when wearing the Dominica brand.
And if we go out there to represent Dominica, it's important regardless of whether you are a sports organization, whether you come from any other sector in society. Once you leave our show and you go out carrying the name of Dominica, we need to be able to do it with pride, with a level of responsibility that will not cause anybody to cry down or to look down on nothing that is going to put the country in disrepute.
Meantime, government has agreed in principle to work with the DOC to establish a synthetic track in the Warner area, which is likely to take some time.
We are willing to run with it and to partner with with Olympics Committee. So as a state, we are ready to do it, and so we will continue to partner with Olympics Committee.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I think our people need to be a little, we want everything and we want it now. So I think we have to understand the country is not just sports. I am not saying that in any way to reduce the importance or to let people think that I am not interested in sports. But I think we have sports. We have all other areas of development, and people have to understand when you have a pie, you have to distribute the pie, and you have to say how much is going for everything, just like we do in our own families and in our own setting. Because if we have $1,000 at home, we decide how we spend the $1,000, what gets priority. And sometimes we plan for something and we have to set it aside and do other things.
A minimum of 7 acres of land is required for the first phase of the project. However, testing of the soil there has to be done first. Next up, it was a competitive season, but no hope for retaining their championship title as the Detroit Blazers went down to Fast Cash Prowlers in a closely contended match of the 2016 Flow DABA playoffs on Thursday. Prowlers finished the game ahead on 68 points, while Blazers contended with 66. In last year's final, the Blazers won the championship on the last shot. However, this year they were deprived of having a spot in the final. Meantime, in the women's match, 77 SC Lady Ballers beat Lady Panthers 54-52 to capture the 2016 DABA Women's Basketball Championship title. Lady Ballers edged out Lady Panthers in a 2-0 sweep in the best-of-3 series final. Romelcia Phillips scored 17, Kayla Winston 9, Primrose David and Vanelcia John 8 for Lady Ballers. In a losing effort, Joelle Brown got 15 and Melissa Williams 13 for Lady Panthers. Meantime, the league continues on Saturday with Game 1 finals between Kelvedare Hurricanes and Police Sports Club at 7 p.m., followed by Fashion Line Falcons versus Fast Cash Prowlers at 9 p.m. Both games are carded for Pishley. Moving on to cricket, where Australia defeated Sri Lanka by 4 wickets in 17.5 overs in the second one-day international on Friday. The Sri Lankans won the toss and chose to bat, scoring 128 for 9. D. De Silva posted 62 and K. Pereira 22 for Sri Lanka. Set 129 to win, Australia replied with 130 for 6. Glenn Maxwell scored 66, while David Warner assisted with 25. In football, an estimated $60,000 sponsorship over 15 years continues as Sagicor Southeast benefits from a $3,500 check from its chief sponsor on Friday. Here is what some of the players had to say.
Well, on behalf of the management of the Sagicor Southeast Club, I want to thank Mrs. Road for past years. She has been sponsoring the team, and we want to ensure that this year we are going all out to actually capture the championship. We want to make sure that our guys are physically fit and they are well disciplined towards the game, and we want to allow them as them to set examples for the others for the continuation of football in the Southeast.
As a player of the Sagicor Southeast team, I just want to say also thanks to this contribution they have making to us for a long time. So I just hope that continues and they bring trophies and stuff to this.
Meantime, Cheryl Rose says the company has a genuine interest in the team's performance.
I heard we lost 3-1 the other day. And we tend to follow them as well, and our staff goes sometimes to their meets, to their games, as much as we can so that we can continue to encourage them. So we are 100% behind our team.
That's all the sporting highlights for now. Do have yourself an awesome weekend.
Your weekend weather forecast is next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Coretta Joseph. We start off this evening by taking a look at some earlier satellite imagery, and what it showed is this area of convection associated with a tropical wave just north of the Leeward Islands. Also of interest is another tropical wave located in the mid-Atlantic, and this wave is currently being monitored for further development as it moves west-northwest. Visible satellite imagery showed generally fair to partly cloudy skies over Dominica throughout the course of the day. Radar imagery indicated some widely scattered showers across the Lesser Antilles. Conditions for tonight: fair to partly cloudy with some brief showers. Tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy skies as well with some scattered showers. Sea conditions: slight to moderate in open water with waves up to 5 feet. Taking a look at the extended forecast, weak and stable conditions expected to persist through the weekend, resulting in fair to partly cloudy skies on Saturday with some scattered showers, increasingly cloudy skies on Sunday with some scattered showers and some possible thunderstorm activity, and on Monday, mostly cloudy skies with some scattered showers. Across the region tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers can be expected. On the international scene, partly cloudy skies as well with some showers in New York and Miami, overcast skies with some rain in London and some possible thunderstorm for Caracas and Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:53 a.m. and set at 6:11 p.m. For up-to-date information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. The Ministry of Education unveils a plan to upgrade the physical plant at a number of schools here. The General Nursing Council presents scholarships to 3 nursing students pursuing their bachelor's degree. And outgoing Urban Council Chairman Simeon Albert points to progress in house rate collection as part of his accomplishments over the past 16 years. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.